Hello again, grade 12s. In the next section, we will continue using the fundamental counting principle to solve problems. This example reads as follows. A PIN code consists of 3 prime numbers less than 10 and 4 vowels. The code must start with the number 5 and end with the letter O. How many codes can you form if A, you may use a number or vowel more than once, repetition is allowed, and part B, you may not use a number or vowel more than once, repetition not allowed. Now, before we begin, we need to clarify what our prime numbers are. So we're looking for those which are specifically less than 10. So we know that number 2, the number 3, the number 5, and the number 7 are the prime numbers we're looking at. Then the vowels that we're dealing with are A, E, I, O, U. So these first 3 blocks here, these represent our prime numbers. And the second 4 triangles, those are the spaces for the vowels. In setting up the code, they've told us specifically that the code must start with the number 5, okay? And it must end with the letter O. There is only one way of selecting the number 5. Okay, that's why we write 1 there. There's also one way of selecting the letter O from the vowels. Since repetition is allowed, how many prime numbers do you have that you can choose from here for the second block? We have 4 prime numbers to choose from because repetition is allowed. Then for the third block, again, we have 4 numbers to choose from. For the vowels, the first triangle, how many letters do we have to choose from if repetition is allowed? We have 5 numbers to choose from. For the second triangle, again, repetition is allowed. We have 5 letters to choose from. Same thing for the third one. Again, we know that with the fundamental counting principle, we multiply these choices together. Our answer would then be 2,000 codes that you can form if repetition is allowed. Let's look at the second, or part B, where repetition is not allowed. Again, the first number is 5 and the code ends with O. Again, there is only one way of selecting the number 5 from the list of prime numbers, and there is only one way of selecting the letter O from the list of vowels. If repetition is not allowed, we have already used the prime number 5. That means in the second block, we are left with 3 numbers to choose from. In the third position, we are left with 2 prime numbers to choose from because you've already used 2. Now, considering the vowels, we have already used O. That means for the first triangle, we are left with 4 vowels to choose from. For the second triangle, we are left with 3 vowels to choose from. And for the third triangle, we are left with 2 vowels to choose from. We multiply these choices together as our fundamental counting principle requires. And your answer simplifies to 144.